Hmm. 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 What in the blue hell was that?
Your Locked On Capitals, your daily podcast on the Washington Capitals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a show that covers a team that for some reason, despite going up 2-0 in a hockey game, they thought, let's just end this one here, kids. Have a good night. Zach Fucale, we're going to hang you out to dry. Vitek, Vanacek, welcome back, kid. Here's 4 goals against you. Hi, I'm Tyler Kuehl, the insider of the insiders, the host of this thing called Locked On Capitals, where we get locked onto a team that you have one game for the next 5 days. It's your last game. You get another whole week off. You get to nicely have home, hang out with your family, play some video games, hang out, relax, have a couple nice practices, and you just completely forget that you have to play a whole 60 minutes to do so. Wow. Holy moly. Like, we're going to get through this game. We're going to do it, and we're going to have a talk about this hockey team. Like an honest to goodness conversation. This is unacceptable. Wow, my ring is very loud. I do apologize for that for those listening and watching this episode of Locked On Capitals. If you are on the YouTube channel, thank you. You can see how angry I am. If you're listening, you've probably blown your ears out at this point. Here's how this game went, okay? First of all, I was at the same time of doing that, watching that game, I was doing the Lockdown NHL with Mike DiStefano, which is out today, the latest of the Lockdown NHL show, the Tuesday edition, where we actually highlight Zach Fucale's shutout record streak to start his career. Good for him. Almost 140 minutes. We talked about it on yesterday's show. And yeah, it was a great time because for us, it was awesome because Mike remembers it just like I did, how great of a junior goalie prospect he was, heroics for Team Canada in the World Junior Championships, and so on. And when I found out that he was getting the start for the game tonight. I'm doing this literally. The game is, the final buzzer just went. Okay, the game's over now, officially. And yeah, so I was excited to see him get the start, his second consecutive start, and a start because, you know what? Peter Laviolette thought he played well, deserved a second back-to-back start. Vitek Vanacek backs up. Samsonov sits, healthy scratch because Laviolette said that he wants Vanacek to just get some ice, especially since before the long layoff and the impending back-to-back coming up next weekend, which probably means Fucale's on the out. Now, you may think Fucale's out because of how this game went. No, that's not it at all. Because, things were looking great. Connor Sheary gets a lucky bounce. Linus Ullmark looks like a Dumbo. He picks up the puck to Sheary. He goes forehand, backhand, bam. Ninth goal of the season. 1-0 lead. We're off to a good start here. Later on in the period. All right, Connor Sheary open in the slot. And he gets the puck. Puck bounces to him again. Blam! Blasts it in. 10th of the season. All right, cool. 2-0. We're on fire. And then there was a scrum later on in the period. And all of a sudden you see Brad Marchand go down. And all of us rejoice at the same time. Woo! He's got a bloody nose. Wow! Everyone's like losing their minds at Capital One Arena because this is awesome. This is great. But unfortunately, Nick Dowd gets a double minor for high sticking, and Evgeny Kuznetsov goes off for a holding of Brad Marchand as well. Brad Marchand, who would have thought he would have gotten under someone's skin to that point where, people were going to do stuff to him? Well, here's what happens, kids. Brad Marchand, nice feed across, David Pastrnak, one-timer goal. It's 2-1. Okay, not good. Power play continues because it's a 5-on-3, and one penalty is 4 minutes long. Brad Marchand comes in, sees an opportunity to shoot, shoots through a screen. Fucale never saw it until it was by him. It's 2-2 after 20 minutes of play. This is not looking good. However, it's okay. It's okay. Caps played him well in the first period. Penalties are out to the side now. Let's start playing better here. What is going? And the second period starts, and it's just a complete and utter disarray. Matt Grzelcyk scores before you even know it. And then a couple minutes later, Craig Smith is wide open in front and buries it. I mean, my goodness. What is Zach Fucale? He's over here looking like Denny Lemieux saying, oh my gosh, I can't do everything by myself here. Like, listen, I know for a fact that Zach Fucale has now the longest shutout streak to begin an NHL career, but you can't leave guys open in front of the net and just allow them to think, oh, this guy's going to make a big save. I'm spitting. I'm losing my mind here. You got to just understand that he's just still a rookie goaltender in the NHL. You need defense, kids. You got to have someone help your goaltender here. So it's 4-0, less than 8 minutes into the second period, okay? That's awful. Horrible, horrendous, not good. Fucale gets pulled. Okay, it's a mercy pulling, okay? It's not his fault. maybe the Grizzly goal, because it was from a long range out. I think Justin Schultz got a stick in there that kind of maybe blocked the vision a little bit of Fucale. As a goaltender, I see that. But okay, that's the one goal you can give on Fucale. But you know what? It's still 4-2. Vanacek's coming in. That's going to spark this team, right? David Pastrnak all of a sudden scores his 13th of the season and just keeps on going. And Eric Holla scores to make it 6-2. It just keeps rolling. Oh, TJ Oshie scored. Well, that's nice. TJ Oshie, his 5th goal of the season. Ovechkin, 28th assist, by the way. Evgeny Kuznetsov, his 23rd assist on the goal. It's 6-3. There is life for this team. Baloney! This team was horrible. And I mean with a capital H-O-R-rible. Brad Marchand, just to throw a little salt in the wound, scores his 2nd of the game. 3-point night for Brad. Well, is it just 3 points? Make sure I didn't miss anything. Yes. 3-point night for Brad Marchand. 2 goals and an assist. And the Washington Capitals lose 7-3. I don't know what party was going on in Washington, D.C. on Sunday night, but holy hangovers, Batman. Like, this team got off to such a great start. 2-0 with your rookie goaltender in net, who was trying his best to make sure he didn't let anything through, let anything sneak. And then I'm not going to say it's a dumb penalty. I mean, Nick Dow caught him with a high stick. It drew blood. Okay, that's 4 minutes automatically. Because that's already a holding penalty as it is. And then you give up 2 goals. But I get it. You give up 2 goals towards the end of a period. I understand that's how momentum works in this league, in hockey in general. Goals in the first 5 minutes of a period and goals in the last 5 minutes of a period are vital. If you give one up, it's horrible. If you score one, it's awesome. However, you had an entire intermission to calm your team down. Peter Laviolette, hello, how you doing? You had an entire 20 minutes to tell your team, all right, guys, it's okay. Let's focus up. Let's get back out of here. Because it wasn't like they played a bad first period. Shots were only 10-11. In fact, shots were even throughout the entire game. The Bruins only shot Washington by a margin of 31-30. And the only time they really outshot the Capitals was in the third period when the Capitals were like, screw this, we're done here. They got outshot 10-8 in the final 20 minutes. There's a level of effort you need in the NHL. We always say, you never take a night off in this NHL. We saw that a little bit when Washington barely squeaked one out against the Arizona Coyotes earlier this year. But this is the Boston Bruins, a team that's back in the playoff hunt here, against a Capitals team that just lost back-to-back games. But they got a point, Tyler. Who cares if they got a point? They got a pity point in the shootout. Calm yourself. Nothing crazy about that. In my eyes, there should be no one. You should get no wins for a loss at all and only 1 point for a shootout win. That should be my idea. NHL, say hello. 3 wins regulation, 2 an overtime win, 1 for a shootout win, none if you lose. Because nobody deserves a point if you don't win a game. They don't do it in basketball. They certainly don't do it in the NFL. And they don't do it in Major League Baseball either. So don't give teams points for losing, okay? It's like giving them a participation trophy for even showing up. Because let's be honest, the Capitals blew that game and blew Zach Fucale's chances of being an absolute stud. Both the fact that they scored against him, and then they pretty much allowed him to get all the shots and chances, whatever in that game, and then they lost in a shootout. Anyways, back to Monday night's debacle. They just, I get it, there were chances, but they just looked like they literally looked like they were skating in mud. The Boston Bruins, noted speedsters, were flying around the offensive zone. How? And they're taking on Linus Ullmark here, who is not a good goaltender. You should be able to score 3 more goals on this, or more than 3 goals on this guy. But in order to do that, you have to skate yourself. What was the problem with this team? They just seemed like the effort level was not there. After they thought they had a 2-0 lead, they thought this was done like dinner. Don't they remember when they gave up a 4-1 lead to the Florida Panthers? Heck, the Toronto Maple Leafs just did it to the Colorado Avalanche on Saturday night. They were at 4-1. They took the rest of the game off. Sickness could have been something to do with that, but that's not the point. This is the National Hockey League. They are taking on the Boston Bruins, who are a good team with a very good top line. Who was it? That wasn't even their best line. That's the crazy part. I mean, yeah, David Pastrnak, he scored. I think he had 3 points himself. Yes, because he got a goal and 2 assists. Marchand had 2 goals and an assist. But Matt Grzelcyk scoring, Eric Hall scoring, this was not because of, it wasn't because of the perfection line. It was everybody on Boston that beat the Capitals. It wasn't just that one line. I know I was going to make if they won 2, I was going to make the joke how Peter Laviolette, kind of had fun with the reporter saying, what line is it called? The Bergeron line? They tried to tell him about the perfection line, and Laviolette was having none of it. Yeah, that would have been funny if you stopped them, because they looked pretty perfect on Monday night, eh? I mean, this is from top down. This is from Laviolette all the way down to Nick Dowd and his line and whatever. And this was the first game, too, that all 4 originally rostered centers were in the lineup. They were going to be golden. They were going to be going. They were going to be bumping everybody. It was going to be great. Nothing. And yes, you're right. This was TJ Oshie and Nicholas Backstrom's first game since coming back from illness. And you know what? It was a different lineup because the defense, Martin Ferivari, he came back in the lineup as well. He's just getting back in the swing of things. Matt Irwin was in the lineup. Still, when have the Caps ever had a full lineup, though? When have the Caps found a way to collapse when the cards were not dealt in their hands? Like they were the number 1 team in the league without Nicholas Backstrom. Now, do not take that as someone saying that I'm not saying Nicholas Backstrom is the problem here. He was not. This whole roster was tonight. I mean, Vanacek went into a bad situation. By the way, Fucale's final line was 4 goals against, or 4 goals on 16 shots, and Vanacek's was 3 goals on 15 shots. So Fucale still takes the loss. Now he is officially 1-1 on his National Hockey League career. We'll get into more about this stupidity about the Washington Capitals here in just a moment, guys. But Primal Origin Oils asks you, do you have a beard? You have a beard? You got to get Primal. That's right. Got beard, get Primal. If someone you know or you yourself care about your beard, you need to get Primal. Make sure maybe you're that guy that's never considered the benefits of treating your beard with the product. Primal Origin Oils will stop the itch and make your beard look healthy and groomed. The products are free from harmful synthetic ingredients and with low impact on our planet. Primal Origin Oils makes the balms, oils, and whipped butter that are renowned for the best feel in beard products available. All products are fair trade certified and handcrafted in the United States. We know that every company claims to have the best, but Primal Origin Oils challenges you to compare their ingredients and feel in beard to the other products you've used. We promise you will see and feel the difference. Remember to use the code LOCKEDON to get 20% off at primaloriginoils.com. Once again, that is locked on at checkout for 20% off at primaloriginoils.com. So let's have a heart-to-heart, Washington Capitals fans. Let's do that. Is this team... Is this team? What is this team? Like, is this team a contender? Is this team like legit? Because remember how nice it was. Let's go back. Let's go back in time here. September 2021. We go back to when I said the Washington Capitals will be finishing 3rd in the Metropolitan Division, behind the division-winning New York Islanders and the 2nd place Carolina Hurricanes. Now let's come back to the present. The Islanders are in last place. The Capitals at one point led the entire National Hockey League, and now they've lost 3 straight games. I don't care if that one was a point. Quit telling me they got a point in that game. Nobody deserves a point for a shootout loss. This team, for some reason, I don't know if it's because it is age. I don't know if it is fatigue. Like, they had 4 days off before the back-to-back. They had a day off to travel. I understand 3 games in 4 nights. Not an easy thing for an older team with a bunch of rookies, bunch of young blood, and now you have 5 days off. Like, how do you not go into the room and say, all right, guys, I get it. The second period was abysmal to the point where you may be down, but it was a 3-goal deficit going into the third period. You score one late, you have a chance. It wasn't there. And the fact that they just couldn't find a way to stop the bleeding. That was the issue. Where was the leadership there? Like, was anyone mad on the bench? Because they sure as heck didn't play like it. Oh, there were a couple scuffles in the third period, whatever. Now, listen, I'm not saying go full 90s Dale Hunter and grab a guy and start feeding him his lunch and dinner even though he may not want it. I understand. You don't need that in today's game. I remember games back in the day I remember there was one game in 2000. It was the Griffins, I think, and the Cincinnati Cyclones back in the IHL. And there was 12 seconds left. It was a 6-2 game. And I'm pretty sure those 12 seconds took us 20 minutes because of all the fights. Like there was like fights after every draw. Like it was ridiculous. But that's my thing though. Like at that point in the game, you need a spark of some sort. And you're right. The Caps had a great chance to make it 3-0 earlier on. Does that, would that have made the difference? Sure. I think 3-0 would have made the game 7-4. Yes, I understand how momentum works, and maybe the Bruins don't get something going there on the power play late, but this is a team now that has found way. Now, I shouldn't say they lost 3 straight games. They've lost 4 straight games because I remember that overtime loss against the New Jersey Devils. The New Jersey Devils, who are, I don't know, they're decent, but they're not a playoff team. I'm just going to make sure I got this right here. They have lost 4 straight games, and they lost 5 of their last 7. Right? 5 of the last 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5 of their last 7. Just want to make sure my stats are right there. So to my point, kids, is this. What are the Washington Capitals? Because I want them to make it, I think they should make it clear for all of us here. If they're going to be a legit team, they need to figure that out now. Yes, they play the Islanders and the Canucks. The Canucks, who are, they're fighting for a playoff spot in the Pacific Division, but they play the abysmal Islanders on Saturday. If they somehow, after a 5-day layoff, let's count it, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 4 days off, 4 days off, 4 days off. On the 5th day, you play the Islanders. If they do not win that game, and they can beat the Canucks. If they split this coming weekend, guys, like there's going to be discussions need to be made about, seriously, is this team legit or not? Because at one point, you and I all both thought that. We thought, hey, look at this team. Oh, he's going to score 50 goals. Kuznetsov's going to put up 100 points. Ilya Samsonov is going to win the Vezina. And we're going to win the Stanley Cup again. Second time in franchise history. That's what we all thought. Wixie's coming in the office here. Thanks, Wixie. Oh, come here, baby girl. Here we go. This is what we need right now. Come here. Wixie heard Dad yelling, and she got a little scared. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. It's okay. Come on. Come on this show. You want to come on? You're getting hard to grab. Here we go. All right, Wixie. All right, Wix. Washington Capitals played really bad. You heard it. You heard me yelling about it. Why is that, huh? What's going on there, huh? She makes me feel better. She makes me feel a lot more calm and relaxed. Oh, look at this. Look at this, sweetheart. If you're listening right now on the podcast, on the podcast form, you're probably losing it. But well, we got Wixie back on the show here. My little pup, my little corgi pup. She's back on the show. And how are you, baby? We went on an hours-long drive today. We had to go pick up something from a little south of where we're at. So she got to come with me, and she had a nice car ride with Daddy. Do you like the car ride? You like the car ride. Yes, you do. Oh. This is what I needed to end the day with. Crazy day. Crazy Monday. Horrible game by the Capitals. Oh. You good? Okay, thank you. Thank you for the love. Oh, my gosh. Oh. I love you. You want to say goodbye? Say goodbye. Say bye. Wixie says bye, everybody, in case you're listening. I'll be out in a little bit, okay? I got about 10 more minutes, okay? In case you're ever curious, guys, get yourself... I understand some people are cat people, some people are dog people. Get you something in your life that calms you. Because that really helped, actually. I'm not lying. That's one of the best parts right there of being a dog owner, is having a dog that can walk in. I'm soothed now. Can we end the show now? No, we got a little bit more here. There's no cool caps of the night. Connor Sheary is your cool cap of the night because he got 2 goals in the game. What does this mean for Zach Fucale? I think we'll discuss that tomorrow, because we got a cool thing coming up on Thursday here, by the way. Thursday is something pretty cool with a familiar face. So I'm not gonna spoil it too much there. But Connor Shearer will get Kuehl caps. We'll talk about Fucale more tomorrow because it was a bummer because Mike DiStefano and I were like saying this could be it. This could be his career revitalization like Jack Campbell. And then he gives up 4 goals. And I say one of them was really his fault. But all right. With that, we'll move on here. We'll talk about the scores and what's to come this week because we got, like I said, we got a lot coming up. Even though we have 4 days off, we got a little bit coming up here. But guys, I got to tell you that BetOnline would like to wish you a happy new betting year as we continue the march to the football playoffs and beyond. BetOnline remains the #1 spot for all the sports wagering action this season. And remember, for the new year, new updated desktop and mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use the promo code LOCKEDON to get started. From football, basketball, hockey, boxing, right, UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Do not wait. Take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 22 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all of your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. So let's take a look at the scores around the league. Now, I will say this. At the time of me recording this, not all the games are done because there was only one 7 o'clock game, and the Avalanche and Kraken had recently just started, so that game is not over yet. So not going to go through all the Monday games. Rangers and Kings were at 10:30, and, by the time I'm done doing this, you'll probably, by the time you hear this, you know the score, but it's okay. Games on Tuesday night, though. Big slate of action, even though there's only, as of right now, only one postponed game. Islanders and Flames. That game is postponed. Islanders have a lot of games to make up here. It's about as many as the Ottawa Senators do. One game in like 25, 26 days for the Sens, by the way. However, Lightning and Sabres will kick things off at the 7 o'clock hour, as will the Canucks down in Florida, taking on the Panthers, part of their East Coast swing here. Carolina and Philadelphia. Philly, who is... yeah, they're a thing right now, but Carolina trying to stay strong and stay dominant, even though they made that big splash, as we talked about on Monday's show. Jack LaFontaine from the Minnesota Golden Gophers signing him out of college, signing his ELC. We'll see what they do with him. Chicago heads to Columbus to take on the Blue Jackets. That's also a 7 o'clock game. And Nashville hosting Colorado, and a big Central Division matchup there. That'll be a real measuring stick game for Nashville, given the fact that Colorado is now fully healthy, and boy, they are scoring goals at will right now. Speaking of scoring goals, they scored a bunch against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are in Vegas, part of their mountain time swing, as I like to call it now, with Arizona, Vegas, Colorado, and whatnot. That'll be a 10 o'clock game. And also at 10 o'clock, the Anaheim Ducks try to get back on the winning track, hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins. Actually, not right. They beat Detroit on Sunday, duh. Try to win another one. They take on the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are trying to get back on the winning track themselves. And the Detroit Red Wings, speaking of which, are wrapping up their California trip, taking on the San Jose Sharks. That'll be the ESPN Plus Hulu game of the night. That'll be a 10:30 puck drop out in the Bay Area. So, what is coming up this week? Well, it's going to be I'm really excited for this week because, one, I'm getting to go to Colorado Springs this weekend. Knock on wood. Barring that the game gets canceled or whatever else happens. There's a whole lot of stuff that could happen in these days, but hopefully I'll be going to Colorado Springs with Western Michigan as I knock on this wooden table about 1,000 times over to go to Colorado, to the new Ed Robson Arena, and that'll be fun for me. But which means the Friday show will be live on location in my hotel room, because I don't think we're not going to have enough time to do a show in the arena. That, as fun as that would be, we're not going to be able to do that. But Thursday. Do we want to do Thursday or want to do Wednesday? Let's do... I want to talk about Zach Fucale. No, yeah, so Wednesday. Thursday, we'll know more about Zach Fucale's status with the hockey club, and we'll probably discuss him as well. Wednesday, though, will be a lot of fun. Wednesday, so when we talked to John Walton last week, we talked about the Capitals, and that was on the Thursday show, of course. I talked to him for a little bit longer than when you guys actually saw. There was a hidden interview in there where him and I talked about his career. That's right. We are doing a deep dive on the career of the radio voice of the Washington Capitals, John Walton. We chatted with him about all the way from, his upbringing in the land of 10,000 lakes and how he ended up in Southern Ohio and how he still was a hockey fan and all that. How he started off in Miami University, Miami of Ohio, whatever you want to call it, all the way to his time with Washington Capitals. And some of his best moments, how he got all the jobs, how he was a public address announcer for the Cincinnati Reds, how that came to be, his time with the Cincinnati Mighty Ducks, the Hershey Bears, all the certain stuff that he did on his path to becoming the voice of your Washington Capitals. So that'll be on Wednesday's show, which is tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow's show. Like, what is today? I don't know. But yeah, so that'll be fun. It was a great interview. John, of course, who is always fun to chat with. I love talking to broadcasters about their stories because, they get to see the game. So they get to know the team as well as, and it's fun. I love doing those. I've talked with, Ken Kuehl and Jack Michaels in Edmonton, Jim Jackson in Philadelphia, and all those guys have great stories. And Dan Rusanowski was a fun one too. The San Jose Sharks radio play-by-play guy. He told us the story on how he found out Joe Thornton was traded to the San Jose Sharks back in the 05-06 season. Don't forget, kids, this is before Twitter, so it was a very interesting way on how he found out. It was part of my old show, the Kuehl Show, and if you look it up on YouTube, look up like the Kuehl Show, Dan Rusanowski or Jim Jackson. Like we had some. Pete Weber is another one from the Nashville Predators. Like that was a fun chat with him. Like I love talking to broadcasters. I am one myself, so I maybe have a little bit of favoritism towards them, but it's a different. It's different eyes. Everyone's got a different story. Not everyone's the same. Not everyone, went to college, did the route. Some guys worked it differently. Some guys got jobs even though they didn't want to. Some guys got jobs out of pure luck and whatnot. So all fun times and whatnot. So John Walton, that'll be on tomorrow's show, Wednesday's show, when we chat with him about his career, a memoir with John Walton. It'll be a fun chat. So with that, folks, that is it for this edition of Locked On Capitals. Follow us at Locked On Caps on Twitter. Follow me, the Insider of the Insiders, Tyler Kuehl at TJKU29. You know how I kind of said that we're going to have some fun in Colorado Springs? Well, we're going to do some fun and stuff on TikTok. Talk about the old World Arena, both of them. There's two of them. Two World Arenas that Colorado College played in and how historic those buildings were. So we'll see you all. Well, I will see you all on Thursday again. The next time I'll actually be talking live. And tomorrow will be John Walton and I talking about his career. That'll be fun. Thank you all very much for listening and watching this edition of Locked On Capitals. We'll see you next time.